You're listening to Turi Writer's She Said What podcast. I'm Turi, along with Marcy Persky. In this installment, Marcy is trying a combined baby-puppy management technique. It's not going so well. Also, eBay and YouTube may actually keep you from experiencing dementia. Ask us how. The spousal unit is outside in the cold. Guess what he's doing?
Harvesting?
Close. You're very close, but I don't
Planting.
think you'll guess. Nope, not planning. Do you want me to tell you? It's going to be a tough one because no human being with his right mind in his head would do this.
What's he doing?
Well, he likes to home can extremely hot peppers and salsas.
Oh, yes, I know that. Yeah.
The kind where if you get the pepper on your hand is burned. And if heaven help you, you get the pepper on your hand and then you have to, as a gentleman, use the facilities. You will be in agony for days.
Why does anyone in the world want to put that in their mouths?
I think it's the same thing that enables him to live with me. It's a tolerance for pain that most people don't have.
It's his hair shirt.
Yeah.
Really hot peppers.
That's it. You could marry. I mean, he developed the taste for insanely hot peppers before he met me, and by then it was too late. He couldn't jettison the one because he'd found the other. Today, he simply opened the bag of the harvested peppers, and I started coughing, and I was 3 rooms away, and I couldn't breathe. And I said, "What happened?" And then he said, "I think one of them in the bag got a little rank," and I opened the bag, and that's what happened. So he had to take everything outside. He has to barbecue them on the grill. He has to can them on the grill. He can't bring them in the house. So it's dark out because it's winter as we record this. And he's out there in the little backyard gazebo with a flashlight and a Weber grill. Again, the tolerance for misery is
I'll
off the
send him a
charts.
signal when I have to go out and walk this puppy in 50-mile-an-hour winds. It is cold and windy up here.
Well, if the wind is straight for some strange reason coming out of the east, you will likely smell the hot peppers from the Weber grill 15 states away.
Yeah, okay.
Prepare yourself.
Speaking of puppy,
Yeah.
so I bought this like wrought iron, really heavy duty X-Pen play yard kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
You know, like an indoor fence for the baby and the puppy. Not at the same time.
I'm glad you added that. Yes.
Yes, not at the same time. So Frankie put it all together today. And first we tested it on the baby. This is heavy duty metal.
Okay.
And so the baby pulled himself up and walked around it. And he has this little backpack on that if he falls backwards, it protects his head and his back.
Aw.
It's so cute.
Like a turtle.
Yep. So the baby played. It was great for the baby. So then the baby went home. I put the puppy in there.
Uh-oh.
He immediately jumps on the couch and right over to the back of the couch.
Oh. Wow.
So the puppy's smarter than he looks. So now we have to train Puppy to stay off the couch.
Well, how are you going to do that when you snuggle up with the puppy on the couch?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that's
I
not.
don't-
Here we
what
go
the-
again. The idea, the reality, the fantasy, the lived experience. No, that
It
puppy.
was a great idea. Well, now we have to teach both these dogs, I guess, to stay off the couch, which is going to be impossible. So I might have to put a netting, like a mosquito netting over the whole thing. I don't know. I got to keep him in. And I got to tell you, he's twice the size that he was 2 weeks
I
ago.
told you that would happen. And I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. It's not like I have a crystal ball here.
Yeah, I'll figure something out.
Just
I'll let you know next
Get
podcast.
2 of those and stack them 8 feet high. Like that fence they built in the worst movie you can ever show children that's represented as a children's movie.
Which one's that? There's so many.
The one that I accidentally rented with the little deer, with the battering husband and the assassination of the pet. And
Yeah,
The Yearling, that's it. The
yeah,
Yearling.
that's it.
Don't go near that movie. I don't know who thought. I don't know who that child abuse, pet
There's so
abuse.
many child trauma movies, though. Old Yeller.
I liked Old Yeller, but it was
Uh,
sad. Very
old.
sad.
I don't like
Old
sad movies.
Bambi, Old Yeller. They're
I
awful.
don't like any. The Wizard of Oz scared the pee out of me when I
Well,
was a
those
little
flying
kid.
monkeys would scare
Yeah.
anybody.
Oh, I have a sign over our front door that says, "Don't make me get my flying monkeys."
Yeah,
I
they're
put it up
scary.
after people from a certain religion started coming to my house at 7 o'clock in the morning.
That house?
Yeah, they found my house. Isn't that crazy? You
I
can't even see it from the road.
I guess they
But I
take
don't
that
have a gate.
wandering in the wilderness thing very
Yeah.
seriously. They just wandered in the wilderness. Sometimes you have to wonder if certain proselytizing religions, if they ever feel like they're going to run out of houses. I,
They've got to out here.
I think the people who are, and this is not political, but there's been a lot of conversation about additional housing being built. And
Yep.
now that you mention it, the people who have to be the most excited about additional housing being built have to be
Those guys.
people who evangelize door to door. If I were those people, I would be so thrilled at the idea of additional housing. I wouldn't even know what to do with myself.
Who evangelizes at 7 in the morning?
They do. They know you'll
Obviously.
be home, you uncouth sinner, you. You'll be home.
Well, what I did was I moved the mezuzah to the other side of the door so that they see it when they come, or the last time they came and they didn't knock. What we don't have is a big wrought iron gate to keep people out with a lock on it and a big old no trespassing sign, which is very common up here.
Oh, they must really suffer. They can't go anywhere. Those
They have a
poor,
really nice building
poor
right
evangelists.
on the highway.
Poor things. I feel bad for them. You almost want to have them come in and sit down with them and pull out a copy of the Old Testament in Hebrew and just do what my mother did. Loses a lot in
Yeah,
translation. Where would you like to start?
I was just like, here, you want to pet my goats? You live in a city on a
Well,
block.
the people who come door to door here are seldom proselytizing, very rarely. What we get are people who figure we're going to give them money for causes
Uh,
and
by
political
magazines.
organizations. Well, no, those are obviously a scam. But the spousal unit it's amazing. He started out in his chosen occupation of politics by soliciting door to door for various righteous organizations. And so he actually used to give them money, but now they won't take checks and they won't take cash, and you have to give them, I think, a credit card or sign up
No
for a
way.
whole big long, and he was not about to do that.
I
There,
remember when I was a little kid, the Fuller Brush Man would come.
I always thought that was a joke, that there was no such thing as a Fuller brush man.
Yes, there is. There was in Michigan when I was a kid. My mom would buy stuff from the Fuller Brush Man, and the vacuum people would come and sell door to door too.
Yeah, the big one, Kirby.
Yeah.
I,
Yep, the Kirby vacuum guy.
I actually know somebody who has a Kirby vacuum that's like 75 years old, and you could probably charge an EV in 5 minutes with the power that this thing sucks. But man, you got to watch it. If you don't have a carpet that's held down by furniture, it's gone right into the Kirby in 2 minutes. It just
My
disappears.
that happened to me today actually.
What?
Um we have a different brand that's also high end that is famous for having a ball on it.
I got one of those, yeah.
Yeah. And I accidentally went over a floor mat.
Whoopsie.
And yeah, it took me half an hour to get it all out so that it would work again.
I finally gave up on the ball thing. I got tired of having the hair get wound around the ball. Plus, you feel extremely weird when somebody calls and asks, "Is this a good time to talk right now?" And you say, "Well, I'm just sitting on the floor cutting hair off the ball of my vacuum." I mean, that just doesn't sound
Take
right.
the hair out of my ball.
Doesn't sound. There are all kinds of things you have to say that don't sound right. The other thing that I didn't think that anybody bought door to door, and was cosmetics, Avon and Mary Kay. And then when I moved to the country, I realized that, of course, that's how you bought your cosmetics, because you weren't going to drive 75 miles to the nearest town with a department store to get lipstick and
Yep.
mascara. So
Yeah. When I lived in northern Michigan, that's pretty much all I could get.
here's the thing about Avon. We lived in a little town, Frederick, Maryland, that's now an exurb of Baltimore, but at the time was just a small southern town. My dad was in the military working at Fort Detrick. And the chic thing that all the people had in their windows that I was really obsessed with talking my New Yorker parents into doing was to get one of those bottles that were shaped like something of Avon cologne. And then when you finished it, you put colored water in it and set it in your window. Those were all over Frederick, Maryland, little bottles shaped like stars and fish and
I
angels.
remember those.
And I used to beg my mother, and my mother would say, I don't wear makeup. I don't wear perfume. And I felt this was a cruel betrayal and probably set me right straight down the path of doing a non-traditionally female job, because, I mean, where was my example? Where was the model on whom
Where was your femininity?
Right. There was no colored bottle of water in the window, and that was
We
it.
didn't have that either.
Done.
Those are worth a lot of money now, though. I see
No,
people selling them.
they're on eBay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well.
Old Avon bottles.
And let me tell you, the only thing that makes less sense to me than buying that stuff when it was new and then using God knows how much you would have had to use of it, the only thing less sensible would be to buy an empty bottle of it now. What? Why? I'm getting old and cranky, and a lot of stuff I thought was cool, I have no patience for now. Just now, I don't care. Although I would warrant you that psychiatrists are very excited about people being literally able to recover the item that was responsible in some way for their childhood trauma.
A yardstick?
Yeah, well, that would be what happened to you. No, I had a favorite toy, and we moved a lot, but I loved this toy, and my mother somehow just gave it away in one of the moves, and I bought one on eBay. I haven't even opened the box. Just looking at the box makes me feel better, because it was such an obscure toy that I doubted for years that it was even real. Was this pink, I've told you about this, the pink plastic showboat that had scripts for 3 different plays, and I would put on all the plays. Now I've progressed to the point where if I see it on eBay, I don't even have to buy it. I just know I'm not crazy. Kind of like how YouTube, songs that you vaguely remembered but nobody else remembers, and you know like 5 words and they've been stuck in your head for 35 years. And you can put those 5 words into the internet and song, and there's a song, and you can hear it on YouTube, and all of a sudden it's great for your blood pressure. You realize that for 35 years you've been carrying around a little piece of a lyric, and you had no idea after a while if you'd just made it up in a dream, and there it really is.
That actually happened to me today.
Oh.
When I've been teaching the baby to say "uh-oh" when he drops something. And just immediately popped into my mind, uh-oh, where you gonna go, yo? Uh-oh, what you gonna do, yo? Oh, where you gonna go? I'm going downtown to see my little girl, yo. And I have no idea where I learned that song and why I know that song, but yes.
Didn't even know it was real, did you?
No, I didn't, but there I sing it.
So did you find it online? And you could get a version of it? No? Okay.
No, I looked all over for uh-oh. It's probably not even the right lyrics, but it came to me quite easily, and I just repeated it to you. So it does have an origin of somewhere.
Thank goodness for eBay and YouTube, which will keep me from believing that I am demented even past the point where I actually become demented.
I'm going to make you feel more insane. You ready?
Uh-oh.
I went shopping for Thanksgiving.
And you bought a Christmas tree?
No, I didn't buy glass jars of gravy.
That was my next guess.
I bought packets instead.
You did that last year. This is how insane you are. You forget that last year you were all proud of yourself for buying it in packets.
Yeah, I bought it in packets.
Again,
So there
you
you
bought it in
go.
packets again. Here's your homework for next week because there's nothing in that freaking packet but salt and potato starch. That's all it is.
Yeah, I'm gonna read it.
Salt and potato
Oh,
starch. And you have to put your pan drippings in there, right? Salt,
maybe.
potato
I
starch.
don't know.
That's all it
I don't
is.
read instructions.
All you need is the stuff that comes off your turkey and flour. That's it.
Ew.
Thanks for listening to the Tory Writers She Said What podcast. Since you've made it to the end, you might want to know that my book, She Said What? A Life on the Air, is not only available in print, but now also in complete audiobook form, narrated by me and available on Audible.